Hello. Do excuse the elf ears, I just finished filming the introduction video for one of my new projects where I will be sort of running a motivational medieval LARP D&D tavern thing on TikTok. I will make a note of that in the description if you would like to check that out. And I kept the elf ears on because they look cool. I pierced them. I don't know if you can see, but they have little earrings right here. I'm very proud of them. And I'm honestly shocked that I've kept them on without any sort of adhesive. I have Prozaid, which is an SFX adhesive, yeah, sticky thing. But that won't arrive until Monday, so I was just hoping if I kept my head still enough, they would stay on, and they did, so now they're never coming off. Also, my hair's fuchsia, so that's cool, and I'm still quite sick. As far as we can tell, and by we I mean my family and also a doctor, I have COVID. It's okay, don't freak out. We're on the tail end of it, and really it was mostly just boring. I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything like that. It's just been 3, almost 4 weeks of me being unable to do anything, thus the lack of content. But I'm back. I managed to pull together myself in an outfit so that I could film, and here we are. So now that that's all out of the way, I really wanted to talk about perfectionism because that is something I have a lot of issues with, and being sick has only made it worse, honestly, because I can't do anything. But I'm trying to fight it. My nails. Yeah, I like painting my nails. I got really into it during the beginning of quarantine. But it was actually something that became really difficult for me because if they weren't perfect, I would redo them, and I would keep redoing them. So I'm talking, I would paint and then take off nail polish maybe 4 times in one night. Which obviously isn't very healthy, nor is it super productive. And it could be the littlest thing. I could have one smudge and then I'd be like, well, gotta redo it all, which was really frustrating for me. But it wasn't really something I could stop. I don't know why, but it felt like if my nails weren't perfect, people would judge me and they would just see that I wasn't perfect, which obviously I'm not, but can't show that, you know? And so yeah, I would just get in this loop of doing it until they were perfect, or at least until I didn't hate them. But I'm trying to get out of that. So now when I paint my nails, I've limited myself to only one go, unless there's something like seriously wrong, like the nail polish doesn't work or whatever. I redid these last night, as you can kind of see, and they're not perfect. They're not very smooth. There are already a couple chips on my thumb. This isn't showing up well on camera, but I promise there are a lot of imperfections. And maybe that's only something I would notice, and that's part of perfectionism, is that so much of it's in your head. Like, who on earth is gonna... First of all, I don't see anyone. We're still in quarantine. I see my parents. Are my parents going to notice that my nails are slightly chipped? No. But even if I did, who's gonna take the time to scrutinize my nails and be like, you have a chip on your thumb, Gem. Clearly, you are a slovenly person. And it's the same with everything I do. My makeup. My makeup looks great right now. I was freaking out because I had all these dry patches on my nose, and my eyeliner wasn't perfect, and my foundation was weird, and I was so worried, but like, it looks fine now. I mean, I have a camera that's a fair amount away from me, but you can't tell. It was the same for me in school. So grades, right? Grades are a thing, and they're percentages, at least here. I'm not gonna explain the whole US school system. If you want me to, I'd be happy to make a second video on that, but I think most people who watch me know about it, so we're just gonna skip that. I would always be really unsatisfied if I got anything less than 100, because to me, it's either right or wrong, and so if I didn't get 100, I did something wrong, which is bad. And that's not how grades work, and it's absolutely impossible to get 100 on everything without killing yourself from the stress, you know? And I was never one to really intensely study, ever. So obviously I didn't get 100s all the time. I didn't get A's all the time, and that was hard for me too. So it was like, when I realized I couldn't get 100, my goal became, okay, at least get A's all the time. And then I couldn't do that, and that was ridiculous for me. And I was really upset when I would get a B. And then I went to Austria and I got an F on my first math exam, which was calculus in German. I had never taken a German class. I had also never taken a calculus class. So obviously I wasn't gonna do well. I barely understood the words on the paper asking the questions, let alone the math part of it. But I cried. I was so upset I cried. Nobody cared about my grades. I don't think anybody knew about my grades, and it's not that uncommon in Austria to get Fs on exams or even to fail an entire class. And I was an exchange student. Nobody thought I was really there for like the education as a whole. Like, sure, I was learning German and things, but I don't think anyone expected me to go to Austria and come back with better math skills than I had before. But I was so hard on myself, and it took so long for me to stop studying like a hard amount, like a lot in Austria, because part of me was still like, okay, you gotta be good, you have to be perfect, you have to be good at school. But like, I was on exchange, it was in a foreign language, I don't think anyone ever asked me about my grades, and it was just like, who cares? Obviously, I'm not saying don't do your best, you should always try, but don't push yourself to where you're feeling sick because you need something to be perfect. It has to be the perfect video, the perfect grades, the perfect look, whatever. Like, don't. Okay, I'm not very eloquent. Here's a secret for you. I never script my videos. At most, I have a topic in mind and then I just talk, right? And being sick has definitely taken away some of my eloquence. If this whole year has taught us anything, and by this year, I mean 2020, not 2021, although honestly, we could say the same about 2021. But if it's taught us anything, it's that a lot of stuff can change at the drop of a hat. And when it does, and all the circumstances are out of your control, you can't hold on to that perfectionism as much as you might want to. I know it makes you feel in control. It definitely makes me feel in control, which is probably why I grip so tightly to it. But you can't control everything and you can't be perfect. And when you're in a global pandemic, and the school system has suddenly changed and everything's different and you're trying to focus, but also your family's sick and I don't know, what's gonna happen after you graduate sort of thing. You can't be perfect, and that's okay. And I don't even know if this makes any sense. I hope it does. I hope some part of what I'm saying is gonna get through to people. Look, I'm not perfect at beating perfectionism. Yes, I get the irony here. I still want to be perfect. I love getting perfect scores on games. I love getting only positive commentary on everything I do, but that's not realistic. And to aim for that and to strive for that will only cause more stress and more heartache. And that's really something I don't need, especially now. So I guess what I'm trying to say is don't stress out too much, just do your best and try to beat perfectionism. Whether that's just telling yourself that it's going to be okay if you don't do everything perfectly or deliberately messing up, whatever works for you. Just, it's going to be okay, whether you're perfect or not. Okay? I hope to see you guys soon. I'm not going to make any time promises because I don't know how long the sickness is going to last, but hopefully another video will be upcoming in the future. So, bye.